you have to picture this. We're in the middle of Italy, basically, in this region called the Abruzzo. And Villa Sant'Angelo, this is where my roots are from. This is where my ancestors are from. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, everybody comes from this one little town. It's basically like my own little Corleone family story.
I was worried about waking up the next morning and find a cow's head in my bed.
And Father Peter keeps having this stupid joke about waking up with a cow's head in his bed. It's a horse's head. In the movie The Godfather, he wakes up with a horse's head, not a cow's head.
You got connections with the mafia?
I don't anymore. That's why I'm trying to get connections. We used to have connections to the mafia. That's how my family actually came to America. And I know it's a bad stereotype that all Italians are in the mafia, but...
It's one of the things that I think people think most of, besides spaghetti, the mafia.
That's right. It is a negative stereotype, but you know what? I'm Catholic. I'm used to negative stereotypes.
Well, you're right. There are a lot of negative stereotypes about the faith. I mean,
right.
Just think, some people think that if you become Catholic, you can't enjoy life. That,
right.
That Catholics are very somber and mournful people. It's just the opposite. Our Lord said, I've come so that you might have joy and have it to the full. So that the fullness of the faith ought to be something that really enhances our life, not diminishes it.
Right.
Another stereotype is priests.
Oh, yes, I have so many bad. Do you have any good stereotypes about priests?
Well, unfortunately, probably not, and this show doesn't help that at all. But,
that's right.
But the idea that somehow when you become a priest or a religious, you stop being human. You
right.
stop being a man or a woman. That's
right.
not the case.
Well, no, you're human to a fault, Father Peter.
You could tell him that.
Yeah, no, literally, to a fault, you are human.
When you come up against a stereotype, try to find out if it's true, which means investigate.
And study and learn.
Exactly.
Which are difficult things to do.
They are difficult, but necessary if we're going to break through stereotypes.
All right, so I say my family's from Villa Sant'Angelo, but literally this house, number 44, this is where my grandpa was born, this is where his father was born.
Right here.
I can be made.
44.
All right, so we're outside for like 5 minutes, and the neighbor lady comes up.
Venite a casa un po' su.
Right, and she invites us into her house.
I wouldn't have believed it, but we drove into town, and within 2 minutes, someone comes up to Lino and says, come into my kitchen and have coffee. And so here we are, just waiting to enjoy this nice Italian cup of coffee. He's a star even in his hometown.
Nobody invites me into their kitchen in America. We come to my hometown. As soon as we show in, oh, you look familiar. Why don't you come in and have something to drink? Have a coffee. It's 90 degrees outside. Why don't you have something hot to drink?
Cognac, qualcosina
dentro. She wanted to know if you wanted some cognac.
Io devo guidare.
Buongiorno.
And who knows who this lady is, but oh, hello, nice to see you.
Sono Padre Pietro.
Sedetevi, accomodatevi.
Signora, ha fatto questo nella casa?
Sì.
Ah, bravo!
Grazie,
Mangia!
Non mangia per niente, però.
Sì, signorina. And then they whip out the pictures.
Poi questo sarebbe la nonna della mamma.
Sì, this is my great-grandmother.
E questo è il nonno. Eccolo, vedi che baffone.
That's my great-grandfather with the big mustache.
Eccola la nonna tua.
Ah, sì, okay. This is my grandmother here.
Che bella. Lino, this is a good-looking family. What happened to you?
Come on, knock it off.
I just asked her if there happened to be young ladies here in town for Lino, and she said there are many, many.
She said there are many. How is that possible? There's 500 people in this town, and there's many young women.
Perché lui ha due cose più importanti per sposare, no? La prima, una donna italiana.
Sì.
La seconda, una donna cattolica.
He was just explaining, I have two requirements for me to get married. An Italian woman, and she's got to be Catholic.
Fatta bene la cucina.
Trying to talk over these people. And so we're on our way, we're leaving, we're saying thank you, you know. Molto grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao. And as we're leaving, she goes, oh, you know, by the way, I have a key to the house. She has a key to my family's house. I don't have a key to my family's house, and I'm family.
Pasqualina, anche lei ce l'ha la chiave.
See, everybody's got a key. She also has a key to the place. So we're not going to run over. What's coming up here? Oh, good. I love these trucks. I wonder if he has a key to the place. Everybody else does. So we went outside, took a look. This is interesting. I'll tell you if there's something here to see. Well, do you think it's a wine press? It's a wine press. So I guess this is where my ancestors got drunk. I don't know. This is where my ancestors made wine, and all I do is wine. So you see, there's a connection here.
44. That's where your family comes from. Literally from this place, out of this door. It gives you a sense of really being at home. No, but I think also it's something important for us that we can trace our roots back as well. We can trace them all the way back to God, God the Father, and his desire to create us. Because when he creates us, he decides, I'm going to make an irrepeatable person. I'm going to make a unique person, and this is a unique guy.
Yeah, and God's saying, I only made him once, and you can see why. We're not going to repeat that mistake.
But just like you, we can also trace our roots all the way back. I mean, it goes through the baptismal fount, which goes all the way back to Calvary, really.
And that's one of the big selling points of the church, is it not? That just like I can trace my roots all the way back, that you can trace the roots of the Christian faith all the way back to the apostles, which means all the way back to Jesus.
No, absolutely. The popes all the way back, the councils all the way back, the teachings of the church all the way back. It says especially those fundamentals. And I think that is a beautiful thing because it gives us a sense of security, the same kind of groundedness that you feel here in that door, even though you don't have a key, we ought to feel. But the beautiful thing is, we have a key.
In what sense?
Well,
you mean because you have a key to the place too? Great. Even you have the key.
Please God, you'll find the key that brings you to heaven.
All right, by this point, you've probably seen enough of Vila. We're on our way out.
I love Generation Cross. No. Prova. I love Generation Cross. I love Generation Cross.
Generation Cross.
I love.
Sí, I love.
Generation
Generation
Cross.
Cross.
Brava!